A question often asked in a modern B2B selling environment is just this: is face-to-face selling dead? Do we still need B2B sales folks whose primary approach to selling is that of face-to-face sales, where the relationship is nurtured from the very beginning of the sales process all the way through to the sale, the order, and then the relationship management thereafterwards? Well, the answer might surprise you. The answer is yes. Face-to-face selling is dead. I'm Steve Knapp, and I'm one of the co-founders at Plan Grow Do, a B2B sales training company that helps business owners and sales teams create the confidence through process and structure to succeed in sales in a changed world. So let's go back to that question. Is B2B sales dead? My answer was yes. It's certainly dead to the point as you're holding on to the hope that we'll go back to how things used to be 10, 5, even 3 years ago before the pandemic and lockdown. What we've learned is that the sales process remains the same, but our buyer has fundamentally demanded that we change how we sell. Now, let me caveat the conversation and the message around face-to-face selling being dead with a slightly different lens. Face-to-face selling starts much later in your buyer's buying journey. And your job as a sales organization, a seller, a sales manager, is to engage in relationships with buyers earlier in their buying journey. This means the days of prospecting early on, when customers are inquiring, researching, are gone. A buyer now likes to self-serve. A buyer now likes to research independently of the salesperson, bringing the salesperson into the conversation when they've almost made their decision. We know actually that between 57 and 80% of a buyer's decision is made before they invite the seller into a meeting. So if we think about a sales process, the job of a modern seller is to be far more active earlier in that relationship. If we consider, Gartner tells us that 80% of B2B interactions between suppliers and buyers will occur on digital channels by 2025. Hootsuite tells us that 89% of LinkedIn members drive business decisions, with 90% of buyers saying that online content has a major impact on their purchasing decision. These are points of great reflection, I think, in our desire to serve and sell to our ideal customers. We'd be quite happy to allow, in the past, our sales reps, our sellers, to go out into the market, find opportunities. We'd be quite happy to have our sellers pick up the phone, dialing out those calls, trying to make contact and build relationship. But we're less likely and less happy to think about how social media and LinkedIn, in the example I've given, plays such an important part in how a buyer starts to research and consume content as they make their decision. So let me go back to the question, is face-to-face selling dead? The answer is yes, it is. At the earlier phases, in the prospecting phase, without doubt, there will still be need as we get later to and closer to the decision that face-to-face is still critical. But as we start to digitalize our sales processes, we have to consider as sales organizations how we are feeding our potential customers, providing them the insights over information that is helping them find us and make their decisions. B2B selling will always be a relational sales approach. It will always have elements of face-to-face. We just need to recognize as organizations that that comes later in the buyer's journey and when they've normally made decisions already. Well, I hope that's given you a little bit of interest into finding out what we do over here at Plan Grow Do, and enjoy the rest of your day.